Thanks for tuning in to the Teslawyer show. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and also hit that like button. Also, if you want to get up-to-the-minute notifications, you can click the bell. And as always, feel free to leave comments about this video or anything else you'd like to see.
Hello and welcome to the Teslawyer show. And today I'll be talking about Lucid Air becoming the sole battery manufacturer or supplier for the Formula E and the possible implications. If you've been watching my channel, you'll know that I'm not only an electric car fan, but I'm a big auto racing fan. So this is very interesting for me. I had the privilege of seeing my first Formula E race, the first time they came to Brooklyn this year, 2017. It was a really good experience, and I hope to see many more races in the future. For those who don't know what Formula E is, it's an electric race car series. They use cars similar to the Formula One single-seat race cars, and it's fully sanctioned by the FIA, which is the Federal International de l'Automobile or International Automobile Federation. The FIA sanctions races of all kinds, including Formula 1, 2, and 3, the World Touring Car Championship, European Touring Car Cup, the World Endurance Championship, which puts on the 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of the biggest races in the world, multiple rally championships, and even European truck and drag racing championships, just to name a few. Being with the FIA gives them a lot of credibility, and Formula E has just finished their third season in July 2017 and has shown that the series is growing. It's attracting race fans of all kinds, and manufacturer-backed teams are starting to jump in. The first season, Renault was the only manufacturer that had a back team, and they've won the championship 3 years in a row. But as the series has gone on, Faraday Future and Jaguar has jumped in. Jaguar pretty strongly. They haven't been doing too great in the races, but during the third season, they really got a boost. Germany has jumped in. BMW, Mercedes, Audi, and Porsche have all announced plans to enter the series in the upcoming years. But part of the reason why the manufacturers have been staying out of the series is, as I said in the beginning, Renault was the only manufacturer, as they were linked with the cars, manufacturing the cars that were being used. So now they've opened it up. Each person can manufacture their own body, and they can use different gear ratios, different gears, and different engines. But all the batteries are still produced by one team or one manufacturer. All for the first 3 seasons, and even the fourth, Williams Advanced Engineering has been making all of the lithium-ion cells, which were coming from Exalt Energy, XALT. The individual teams were not allowed to do anything to the batteries. They came in one sealed black box that could not be altered or tampered with. But as I said in my intro, things are about to change, and starting September 2018 will be the start of season 5. And for at least seasons 5 and 6, all the cars will be using the same battery, which will be provided by Lucid Motors in a partnership with McLaren Applied Technologies and Sony instead of the previous Williams batteries. For those of you who are not familiar with who Lucid Motors are, they're a new California-based electric car company which are planning to produce the Lucid Air, their first production car, by 2018. Well, you might have heard of them when they were called Ativa. Back in 2016, Ativa released some very impressive videos of their development vehicle, a white cargo van that was packed with batteries and electric motors as a test bench. And they had videos of it out accelerating cars like the Nissan GTR, Ferrari 458 Speciale, BMW i8, the Dodge Viper, and of course they put it up against the Tesla Model S P100D, but that was prior to it becoming ludicrous. We don't know how that race would end today, but I think the Ativa got down to 2.9 or 2.8, 0 to 60, so we knew the ludicrous Model S would be faster. But they've also been working on their battery tech, put it in a lighter vehicle. It'll be a very tight race. It'll be interesting to see what the Lucid will do when it comes out. We know that they've been doing high-speed testing, and they've gotten up to 235, 238 miles an hour. So it is a fast car. Through the partnership, Lucid will be responsible for designing and constructing the batteries and the battery management software. Sony will be supplying the small format lithium-ion cells that will go inside the battery packs, and McLaren will manage the logistics and trackside support. However, Lucid was quick to point out that Sony is not going to be their manufacturer for the commercial batteries that they're going to use in their cars or for other applications. This is in part because Sony is going to it was in talks to sell their battery business to Murata, which the Japanese Times recently announced that the deal has been approved through antitrust regulations and is set to be completed on September 1st of 2017. But also on December 6th of 2016, Lucid entered into a partnership with Samsung SDI to also produce lithium-ion cells and to produce battery packs. And then 2 weeks later, in December, Lucid also announced that they were in partnership with LG Chem to produce lithium-ion cells for their commercial vehicle and other applications. Also, when I spoke to Lucid at the 2017 New York International Auto Show back in April, they would not commit to any one supplier, which is probably a smart move on their part. You got to keep their options open. The more suppliers they have, the less likely that battery production will be a constraint on them, like it was when Fisker tried to release their Karma. Their battery supplier went under, and that really hurt their business, and eventually they went bankrupt. But that's another matter for probably another video. So Lucid was able to win the contract after rigorous evaluation was done by an independent consultant hired by the FIA to test all the candidate battery technologies from various manufacturers. So it wasn't just Lucid. I'm sure Williams was back in it, BMW and Mercedes. They're doing their battery stuff. Nissan probably, as they're coming out with their new batteries for their Leaf. Lucid was able to win because they not only provided high capacity batteries, but also showed that they had the technology and expertise to use performance data to prevent possible failures and optimize the batteries for peak performance during the rigors of racing, of both the acceleration and extreme regenerative braking that these batteries would be put under. So a lot of stress, a lot of heat management. So to accomplish their battery breakthroughs, Lucid has been developing their batteries in conjunction with SLAC, which is a National Accelerator Laboratories, which is a U.S. Department of Energy laboratory that's based out of Stanford University. So this collaboration allows Lucid to look at the batteries at a microscopic level using a CAT scan-like technique to see the physical degradation of the batteries that create small fractures within the batteries as it's being used. And this allows them to tweak the chemistry to fine-tune the batteries for the kind of performance that they desire, whether it's long endurance batteries or quick discharge or a blend of the two. So the switch from the Williams batteries to the Lucid batteries marks a significant change in how the Formula E races will be conducted. The original batteries provided by Williams were limited to 200 kilowatt peak power and a maximum usable energy of 28 kilowatt hours. These limits required each team to switch cars. They had 2 cars for the 45 lap or about an hour race, and they had to do a pit stop in between to change cars because they couldn't charge the car fast enough to use one car during a pit stop. But Lucid batteries pack about twice the usable energy, rated at about 54 kilowatt hours maximum and a peak output of 250 kilowatts. So this will allow the drivers to use one car for the entire race and also for the practice session. And these gains were made with a minimum increase in battery weight. The Williams batteries weighed about 200 kilograms or 451 pounds, and the new Lucid batteries only increased the weight by 50 kilograms or 110 pounds. The Lucid batteries will also be able to be fully charged within 45 minutes. So not only can they use the one car for the entire race, but now they'll be able to use the same car for the practice session and also during the race, as the batteries can be charged between the two events, as there's usually an hour or two between practice and the official race. So this will cut down drastically on the cost of running a Formula E team, which will help not only the major manufacturers, but hopefully we'll see some independent teams continue to be attracted to Formula E. Hopefully more advertising, race gets bigger. And another reason that this is a big deal for Lucid, as I stated, that a lot of advertising money goes into Formula E, and a lot of these car manufacturers and other technology companies that are in Formula E are using it as a billboard, as a way to make the public aware of them and their electronic car development. But Lucid is getting paid to supply these batteries, and they're also own these batteries. So they'll be able to use race acquisition, use data acquisition from the races to evaluate how the batteries are performing and to improve them both for the racing series and for their commercial use. And the fact that these batteries will remain Lucid's property will help them to do not only full evaluations but also keep their intellectual property secret from these major manufacturers who are entering Formula E and who are also developing electric cars for the public. So that's a double win for Lucid. And season 5 and 6 looks like it will be a step, the next level in the evolution of the Formula E series. With these new batteries, the teams are going to have to use new techniques in order to make sure that they manage their energy efficiency properly, and there'll also be more major manufacturers, more money, so the event's just going to get bigger. And I've always said that those teams that race and take it racing seriously make better commercial vehicles. So, I believe racing really does improve their commercial vehicles, and Lucid will be able to prove that their battery technology is right up there with Tesla's, and this will be great publicity for them if it works.
As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe by clicking on my logo, or add a comment. You can find me on Twitter at Teslawyer Show. And before you leave, don't forget to check out another one of my videos.